So I've saw this all over social media, and I absolutely find it freaking hilarious. Because this is such a stupid topic to talk about, stupid take to make, and I just love it so much. So, the negotiation between Joe Burrow and the Bengals for his contract extension is about to start, right? No big deal. Not a big deal. Well, Katie Blackburn, the vice president of the Cincinnati Bengals, came out and said that they now have a vow of silence between Joe Burrow's camp and the Bengals on this contract negotiation. I don't know, like normal business happens and works. After the whole Lamar Jackson situation, where, there was contract negotiations back and forth, the Ravens were releasing stuff, Lamar started releasing stuff, it became a dramatic, outlandish, high school drama club type scenario, right? All this is saying is the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be a respectful organization and not be like the Ravens, who are being like a freaking teenage drama club. We gave him this much, but he didn't take it, so therefore we gotta tell everyone. And then Lamar, obviously, he is just responding back and trying to defend himself, but now he's becoming a drama club with stuff he's saying, because he's not saying professional stuff. He's saying just kind of, stuff that a guy his age would say. A 26-year-old. I'm 26 too. If I get attacked, I'm probably going to say stuff that a business-like person wouldn't say. Right? So, it became a drama club. I feel like I'm back in high school watching the Ravens and Lamar Jackson going back and forth. I'm like, okay, guys, you're going to just get back together in the end, so who cares? Well, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are actually taking this like an actual business. They're not treating this like a circus act. And all it was said was that, yes, they're going to work on a contract negotiation together. Well, we have this man right here who has an outlandish take, so I do want to talk about it. Let's go ahead and listen up.
Here is what that 2020 class should do. They should do something called going favored nations. Favored nations is when a group of people come together and they all agree that they want the same thing. We saw it before with the show Friends. Jennifer Aniston, Matthew Perry, David Schwimmer, etc. What they did was they went favored nations and they said, we all want to make the same amount of money. They ended up all getting $1 million per episode. Because one individual cast member will not be stronger than the network, but the entire cast can be stronger than the network. One individual football player, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, they will not be stronger than the owners, but all of those players can collectively be stronger than the owners. Joe Burrow should not vow of silence with the Cincinnati Bengals. Instead, he should call up Lamar, call up Hurts, call up Herbert, and they should collectively say, we will not play this season unless we all get fully guaranteed deals. Now, the amount that is guaranteed, that can fluctuate dependent upon the team and the salary cap. But imagine if we woke up on Monday morning and saw Herbert, Hurts, Burrow, Lamar put out the same exact statement with their signatures on the bottom. We will not play this season unless we all get fully guaranteed deals. Favored nations and entertainment ideology that you see as it pertains to contracts is something that NFL players should adopt. If you really want to see a seismic shift in the National Football League as it pertains to fully guaranteed contracts, Lamar Jackson, you individually will not be stronger than an owner. Joe Burrow, you individually will not be stronger than the owner. But collectively, we've never truly seen 4 top 8 quarterbacks be up for a contract at the same period in time. We're witnessing that right.
That's what smoking crack looks like. I always wonder what smoking crack looks like when you're making an NFL take, and I guess that's what it looks like. Let's break this down. In what universe did anyone, and I'm saying anyone, say Joe Burrow is not going to get a fully guaranteed contract? In what universe, at any, if Lamar Jackson got his money, would he be the one advocating that Joe Burrow should get his money? Would he be the one coming down and saying Justin Herbert should get his money? If the other side fit, would Lamar Jackson in any way be defending these other players? I don't know. But that's a food for thought right there. Listen. Joe's going to get his money. Okay? Joe went, obviously after the first season, got hurt, right? Went to back-to-back AFC Championship games. He went to a Super Bowl. He has accomplished so much. And yes, he has not won MVP. And I still say to this day, the MVP year for Lamar is an outlier. It really is. No one knew how to stop the guy. When the NFL never saw a mobile quarterback like him in the league. Outside of his MVP year, how has he been? Has not finished last 2 seasons with injuries. Has not won the MVP since. Has won 1-3 in the playoffs. I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, there's an outlier. There's definitely an outlier. That year that he won MVP in 2019, no one knew how to stop him. And what happened? What happened when Lamar played the same team twice in 3 weeks? The Chargers killed us. They destroyed us. They beat us by 21 plus points. We actually came back in the end and made it a closer game. They had a 21-point lead on us. Tell me the MVP Lamar Jackson did anything in that game. Because when they figured out, wow, dang man, you stack 6 DBs in the box and Lamar can't do anything. I get he won MVP. I understand. He's an amazing player. I do love Lamar. But he's not worth the money he's asking for. And I know this takes, well, he's coming out and saying that he's not asking for a 4 guaranteed contract. Then tell me what you're asking for, Lamar. Tell me what you're asking for. But to say that Lamar and Joe Burrow should make the same money is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. A guy who has not finished the last 2 seasons. Okay, he did not finish the last 2 seasons. 1-3 in the playoffs versus a guy in Joe Burrow who's been to the AFC Championship game in 2 of his 3 seasons, in a Super Bowl in 1 of his 3, and if it wasn't for injury the first year, this guy probably would have went to Super Bowl the first year. To say that is in any way comparable to Lamar right now is absolutely outlandish. To say that, and what he is proposing, by the way, because he said the Friends reference, how they all want to make the same money. No. Joe Burrow and Lamar should not make the same money. Joe has accomplished a lot more than Lamar Jackson has. Listen. How Joe is partaking this and handling the situation is like a businessman. And in all honesty, guess what? Joe has an agent. So Joe isn't even really a part of this as much. Joe's in it, but he's not in it, if that makes sense. His agent goes to the Bengals and says, listen, Cincy, here's my guy. Here's what his market value is. Here's what we want. The agent and him go back and forth. They agree on a price. They sign a contract. Done. Problem with Lamar is Lamar doesn't have an agent, so he goes back and forth with the team, tries to work out this outlandish contract that he wants, and the Ravens are sitting there saying, listen, you're not that good. And he says, I am that good. And they say, okay, well then go out there and find a contract that good. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, nobody is required to go out there and bring Lamar Jackson's contract up. Nobody is required to go out there and set a principle moving forward. Because there is no way you can say that Joe won't get what Lamar is asking for guaranteed. There's no way you can't say that Joe won't get a 10-year contract, $408 million, $250 guaranteed. There's no way you can say that. Even to make that take is outlandish. Because at the end of the day, Joe's worth that money. Now, Jamar Chase has came out and said Joe's going to take a team-friendly discount so that he can keep his targets around and keep his weapons around him. And if that's the case, that's beautiful. That's amazing, right? But how are you going to make a take that what one man wants, another man wants? You don't know what Joe wants. Joe might not want that. Joe might not want that. Joe might say, hey, listen, I want to make money, but I want to backload my contract so we can rework certain things later down the line to keep certain players. You do not know what Joe Burrow wants, and you're putting that words in his mouth of he should be out there advocating for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is his own man. If Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, every single man I just listed is their own man. If they want a fully guaranteed contract, guess what happens? They have an agent, they'll talk to the team, and they'll try to work out a fully guaranteed contract. And if Lamar Jackson wants to go try to get his fully guaranteed contract, he can go hire an agent and try to do it. But what we saw is that Lamar hit the open market, and 31 owners didn't want him for his money that he wanted. That's it. That's facts. That's period. Guy has not finished the last 2 seasons. I love Lamar. I think Lamar is a top 10 quarterback. I truly believe he is. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Okay? It really doesn't matter. And this take that he made is outlandish and just stupid. Oh, because Lamar wants all this money, then Joe Burrow should not be silent and be an actual businessman in negotiation with the Bengals. And you know what's funny? Watch Joe come out and get exactly what Lamar wants. Because guess what? Joe did not miss the last 2 end of the seasons. Instead of Lamar being hurt the last 2 end of the season, which again, is not his fault. You know, it's obviously not his fault at the end of the day. But instead of missing the last 2 end of the years, he went to the Super Bowl 1 year and the second year got snubbed by the refs. Like, to say, oh, this guy is in this guy in the same No. Not even close. Who won the AFC North the last 2 years? Cincy. Who went to the Super Bowl and no one went back? Cincy. Stop it. You're not even in the same ballpark range. I understand. Well, the Ravens don't have receivers, and Joe Burrow has T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and, Jamar Chase and Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst was hurt last of the year. Freaking Joe Mixon was hurt half the year. He had no offensive line. If anything, what's funny is the Ravens have a better offensive line last season than Joe Burrow did. And not only that, you might say, well, technically, blah, 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 blah. The Ravens have crafted a team around Lamar Jackson. People don't realize that at all. They think that, oh, Lamar has nothing. Lamar has a team that has been handcrafted. Linemen, handcrafted around him. Receivers, handcrafted around him. Okay, this is just the facts of the matter is, Lamar has had a team that has been molded by his play style. And yeah, you might say, well, he should have star players. If he had Joe Burrow's roster, we still miss wide open throws. I don't know how having Joe Burrow's roster with that offensive line last season where, again, was not the worst. It was a lot better the year before that, by the way, but still a lot of problems. How that automatically just makes, Lamar Jackson have this best season in human history, okay? There are still times where Lamar, again, I think he's a lot better of a thrower than people give him credit for. But he'll have a wide open guy, and he'll overthrow the guy. He'll miss the mark. And there's something that Joe doesn't do. Burrow sits back there, and in a game-winning drive, the guy's open, he's going to hit the ball. He's going to hit the guy. If Lamar throws that ball, I know there's a 65% chance he's going to hit the ball. The difference between a 100% and a 65%. The only difference between Joe and Lamar in this situation is if it's a 3rd and 1, I can run Lamar Jackson for 25, 30 yards. I can't run Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow might run 15 yards. But who do I want in the game-winning drive? Joe Burrow. Who do I want to pay more money to? Joe Burrow. I get Lamar deserves to get paid. I understand that. But to make an argument of, well, he was an MVP candidate one time, and, he's a really good quarterback, I get that. But the market out there said he's not worth that money. So stop bringing Joe into this. Stop bringing Herbo into this. Stop bringing Jalen Hurts into this. If they have a problem, they will speak out and give their side of the story. But to try to force them to come into a problem that really isn't a problem, and again, I see this a zillion times, would Lamar be in the same camp if he wasn't the one who was up for a contract? I want to know that. If Herbo has one time, did Lamar come out and say, yo, Joe Burrow deserves a fully guaranteed contract. Joe Burrow deserves fully guaranteed. Has one time Lamar Jackson came out and said that, Justin Herbert will demand or should get a fully guaranteed contract? Or Jalen Hurts? If Lamar was in this situation, there would be no talks about that. The reason why he's in this situation is because he has not finished the last 2 years. He knows he's injury prone. He knows he has injury issues. That's why he wants a fully guaranteed contract. Don't put your business on my business. Don't put your business on anyone else's business. Again, it's idiotic. This guy is idiotic. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Joe Burrow will handle this like a typical businessman. His agent will handle this like a typical businessman. And they will go back and forth, and they'll agree to something with Cincinnati. And we'll find out whatever that contract is in probably about a couple months. And guess what? It is what it is. In a couple months, Lamar Jackson will be playing for a 1 year, $32 million contract and be with the Ravens for 1 year. And whether he holds out or not, he holds out or not. That's really what it is. No one needs to come up and say, oh, well, we're going to 100% have Lamar's back. Why? At the end of the day, Joe's going to get his money. If the owners were saying no one, meaning like, Joe, I'm sorry, if Joe wasn't going to get paid, if Jalen, they're going to get paid. You have one outlier. Peace out, guys.